and we are live. What's up, Facebookies, YouTubers, Twitter fingers? How y'all doing? What up, Adrian?
Hey. I'm
How
here.
you?
What's going on?
Welcome to the Hootie Who's finest talk show. Look, we back, man.
Man, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Of course. I had to get you coming on here with me, man. I got a lot of messages saying how they loved you on the show. So yeah, your input is always wanted.
Okay. Shit. I don't want to go nowhere to where I'm not wanted. So that feels good. To be wanted. You know.
Of course. How's things been going out there in the Bay Area for you?
Things been going pretty good. Things been going pretty good. It's just making a lot of like connections and networking with a lot of people. I've been working a lot. I'm just really looking forward to putting my work, working as far as just having a job. I'm looking forward to putting that to the side and focus on my own projects and stuff. So I see myself about three more months. I'll be ready to bust a move, do my own thing.
Wow. I mean, that is amazing, Adrian. If you guys don't know Adrian's story, Adrian has a testimony. He did over 2 decades in prison with a life sentence. Educated himself while he was in there, educated himself in the law, did his own law paperwork, did his own paperwork to get to the board, and rehabilitated his whole mindset, his whole way of thinking, got himself suitable for parole, got out on parole, got into the halfway house, got a job, did the program, got 2 jobs, did the whole program I was supposed to be done, and was off parole, was calling me within a year, telling me
Hmm.
that they let you off parole. And now
Yeah.
you keeping up the progress, keeping up the work in progress, and just building your own.
Mm. Yes. Well, thank you. Yeah, that's been my journey. Little bumps in the road here and there, but I was prepared for whatever setbacks that life threw at me, and just stayed on the path. And I'm continuing on that path right now.
Well, I am so proud of you. And then also, you're doing speaking engagements and different things like that. You're also on the mission of helping people that's in prison, teaching them and showing them how they can get rehabilitated and get themselves suitable for parole as well. Is that correct?
Yes. So I just had a speaking engagement that was last Thursday. Spoke at this nonprofit that I work for. To some of their donors. Just spoke on reentry. The difficulties people have coming out of prison. So yeah, that was last week. I just actually got off the phone maybe about 10 minutes ago with a guy in prison. I talked to several guys from prison. I may get more calls in a day from people in prison. Now the phone calls are free. They got tablets. They call me, at all times. I'm driving home from work today, and I get a call from a guy that I know. But his problem, he's having an issue with actually going to board. So he was told that he was going to his parole hearing in November. And so, I went online and just, to look it up, just to, make sure that, he was on schedule, and he's not on the board's document. He's not on a prisoner parole hearings docket. So I told him, look, man, you need to, talk to the counselor or someone in there to find out what's going on. So he called me today and told me that he talked to the counselor, and the counselor is as baffled as he is, and they're trying to iron everything out right now. But doing everything that I can to help him stay focused and get out, come home, get out of prison.
That's the ultimate goal. I remember, you being on that journey, and I'm so happy, and I knew once you made it home, you were going to be the perfect candidate to pitch in and help others get on the right path of getting out and doing something with themselves. So I'm so proud of you, Adrian. Okay, I see you out there. I see you. All right,
Mm-hmm.
let's get started. Let's get started. Welcome, welcome, IG, to Hootie Who's Finest Talk Show. We have some interesting things going on. I've been doing a little dabbling in true crime. So I want to get into this Tupac story a little later on. Did you get a chance to look it up? Have you? I know you've been hearing about it.
Yeah, so I heard about it. I've been meaning to go online and read a little bit more about. I guess it was a guy who was arrested. The information that I got is that if they, I guess they got him for not being an actual shooter, but as like the mastermind or the conspirator or something like that. So I don't have a lot of information on it. I didn't know we were going to talk about that specifically today. If I had known, I would have did a lot more research. So I apologize for that. I thought we were going to get into that maybe
Don't
at
worry
another
about
time.
it. I did enough research for us both, so I'll update you on some things once we get there. Don't
Okay.
worry about it. All
Okay.
right,
Put me
let's
up. Put me up on it.
yeah, yeah, it's a lot going on with it because I got some questions for you too about it. But let's go ahead and get into our weather. As you know, we always started off with both of our hometown, Los Angeles. What they doing right now? Los Angeles is our good weather right now. They at 74. Okay. That's kind of
Pretty good.
chilly though for the by the beaches. 74 is like 64. That's kind of chilly for out there. But anyway, that's good weather. KC Mo, where I'm at, 68 degrees. Now that is perfect weather for
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
because in a minute we're gonna blink and it's gonna be snowing.
Mm. Y'all get snow up there a lot, huh? During the
Mm,
winter?
yeah, it comes down. All
Yeah.
right, Adrian, I see you in San Francisco. Y'all got good weather out there for the Bay Area, 67. It's not raining or anything, is it?
No, it was been kind of sprinkling on and off all day for the last couple of days. Tomorrow's supposed to be clear, supposed to get a little hot. I believe it's supposed to reach about maybe about 75, 78 degrees somewhere up here. But the
Oh,
weather's pretty nice. It's pretty nice outside today.
all right, yeah. Okay, 67. NYC. Wow, they had a whopping 59. That's hot for them.
Oh, is that right?
No, it get cold in New York City. Let me
Yeah, yeah. I
see.
gotta get out there one day.
I still haven't been either. Got to get to the Big
Yeah.
Apple, man. We got to get out there, Adrian.
Do a little traveling.
H Town, Houston is in the house,
Ooh.
78 degrees, and it's raining.
Oh, well, some people like the rain.
Well, you originally from Louisiana, so you used to that kind of crazy southern weather.
Yeah, yeah. Originally from Louisiana, was born out there, raised in LA. My mother, we moved out here when I was 2 years old to Los Angeles, California. And but I like to say I got a little country and a little city up in me. You know what I'm saying? The perfect balance. You know what I mean?
I think we all got a little country because really a lot of black families moved from the South to Los Angeles in the
Yeah,
60s and the
yeah,
70s.
looking for better opportunities and things like that. And lot of people was moved to LA looking for fame and fortune. And
True.
got stuck in the hood.
So
Yeah. Mm.
all right, Miami. There's another place on my bucket list. I gotta clear it. 83 degrees. It's hot out there.
Mm.
Okay, Florida.
Yeah.
All right,
That's
Detroit.
bikini weather.
Yeah, that's that bikini weather. Well,
Hmm.
LA is kind of too, but they say Florida is known for it, I guess. Whatever. Anyway, Detroit, Michigan. Come on in at 51 degrees. Y'all cold out there. It's always cold in Michigan.
Yeah, it's kind of nippy.
Las Vegas, Sin City, 89 degrees, and it's always hot. It's either hot or cold in Vegas. Have you been
Yeah.
to Vegas since you've been home?
Um, haven't been to Vegas. Then had several opportunities to go to Vegas. Haven't been. Watched the Raiders do their thing last night. They finally won a home game in Vegas. Congrats to all them fans. I know we probably got a lot of Raider fans online and 49er fans. But yeah, never been to Vegas.
Okay. Well, lastly, Denver. You got to get to Vegas, Adrian. 75 degrees in
Absolutely.
Colorado, Denver, Colorado. That's my second home out here, like Vegas is to LA. I travel to Denver like that. Love, love, love. 75 degrees out there. Their NFL team is.
The Broncos. I mean, hey man,
Adrian, have
that's
you?
all division. That's see, I'm a fan of every team. You know what I'm saying? I'm an NFL fan. I don't have a Pacific team, so I can claim everybody.
That's what I was about to say. That's what I knew about you. I was kind of on the fence. I was like, I don't think Adrian is into the team. I know he into NFL probably, but he not into the per se team, have a specific team.
No.
But so I'm happy you brought up the Raiders. I'm not gonna say what I want to say, but I'm happy you brought them up because the next segment I've changed it is going to be an NFL update. As long as we end this season, we gotta speak on it. We gotta bring it to life. So I'm gonna just be updating with the games that was just played. Did you? Were you? Are you work 7 days a week? Were you able to catch some games, Adrian?
Caught the 49er game against the Cowboys, which was a blowout,
Blow
and
out,
was able.
baby.
To, yeah, it was a blowout. And I was able to catch the entire Raiders game yesterday after I got home, the Monday night football game. So like Thursday night, Sunday night, and Monday night, I'm able to watch, a little football.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, so we had, I think Thursday night, we had Chicago Bears and the Washington Commanders. The Bears actually did their thing, which shocked me. I was going for the Commanders because I like their new offensive coach, Bieniemy. I want them to do a good job. But the
yeah.
Bears actually won. Chicago won. Who else we have? We have Saints and the Patriots. Okay. Louisiana.
Mm,
Come on, New
yeah.
Orleans.
No
Tyrone
one.
Matthews on the defensive came through with a touchdown. I was able to see that. I'm a Matthews fan. I'm a Matthews fan. But he came through
Yeah,
for a touchdown with the New Orleans Saints.
yeah,
Patriots, not a Patriots fan at all, but they lost anyway. Anyway, the Steelers and the Ravens. Okay, I am a Steelers head coach fan.
Oh, Tomlinson. Yeah. Is it Tomlinson? Or what is his name?
Yes,
What is his name?
Tomlinson.
Tomlin.
Tomlinson. You said it right.
Okay. Okay.
So they actually beat the Ravens, which was actually shocking because
Yeah.
one, they don't have a good quarterback right now. I don't think he's good. But two, the Ravens just paid Jackson, their quarterback, all this money. So you would think y'all would beat a weaker team, but they didn't. So
Yeah.
Ravens fans, get it together.
Yeah.
Anyway, Atlanta ATL whooped on the Texans.
Oh,
Woo!
the Texans. Oh, is that right?
The Texans ain't been nothing since they lost Watts, since Watts was traded and now he's retired. He's a sports announcer. And then they had like a allegedly rapist quarterback. What was his name? What?
Deshaun Watson or something, right?
Yeah, he had charges brought up against him. So allegedly he done
Yeah.
raped a couple of people, allegedly. But anyway, he's gone to the Cleveland Browns now, which we actually, San Francisco, we playing them. Yeah, this upcoming.
Yeah.
Got y'all, Cleveland. Anyway, what was I at? So the ATL beat Texas. The Bengals beat the Cardinals, AZ, which kind of was a good thing because the Cardinals is in our division, but the Cardinals really ain't that hot this year. I don't think. You know, it's still early.
What happened to that quarterback? He's out or something like that?
I don't know. Who was
Yeah.
their quarterback? They had a good quarterback.
Yeah, I forget the guy's name, but yeah, he's pretty good, young guy. Just yeah, been doing his thing for the last couple of seasons.
I know
He may be injured though.
who was they had a good wide receiver that they traded. Was it his
Green, didn't they get Green? I believe.
was it Hopkins? They had somebody named Hopkins. Was he a
Oh, Anthony. I mean, yeah, yeah, Hopkins. Yeah,
was he
um,
a wide receiver? What was he?
yeah. They did get a couple of receivers. Yeah, where did he come from? Like I said, it's just been hard to follow football just based on my workload and everything. But
Adrian, I work every day.
thanks, yeah,
But
thanks for the update.
don't worry, I'm updating you, Adrian. Anyway, the Jets, New York Jets. Now, I'm kind of rooting for the Jets because I think Aaron Rodgers just came there and dogged this whole franchise out. The Jets actually beat the Broncos, which Wilson, oh my God, he should have stayed with Seattle. He should have stayed with Seattle. That was his team. With what's the coach Pete Carroll? He has not
Yeah,
been winning since he's been in Denver. And the Jets, they have like a young quarterback. I don't know if he's a rookie, but he's a young quarterback because
yeah,
Aaron Rodgers. They did this whole big old thing for Aaron Rodgers coming there, and this was his big showdown. He on a new team and all this good thing. And the Jets fans showed up and showed out the first game. This man literally I think it was the first play, he literally got hurt allegedly to his
yeah. Allegedly,
Adrian. I'm not. Listen, I gotta tell it how a Ti is. This man, if you look at the play, the announcers, nobody see where the injury came from.
yeah,
First, first play, he made these people bring a whole trolley thing to come and get him, and when he hopped up on it, he was like,
yeah.
like let's go.
Wow, is that right?
Yeah, I don't think he would. I don't think that man wanted to play. They gave him some money, and he couldn't wait for that first snap. So for him to say, "Oh, I'm hurt," then when they took him
Mm,
back there, they said, "You know how they come out and announce the update the injury? They couldn't find nothing wrong with him, but he's out."
yeah, he's out for the season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go figure. Anyway, it reminded me of that. Remember that Mike Tyson fight a long time ago? I forgot who he fought. I don't know if it was Buster
Oh,
Douglas where he just hit him once and he was like, "Give my 20 million," and didn't get back up.
yeah. Oh, the glancing blow.
Yeah, it was like, come on
Yeah,
now.
who was that? I
He,
forget who that was.
he fought somebody and they just laid down like, I ain't getting
Yeah,
back. Anyway, the Jets beat the Broncos. Of course, SF beat the Cowboys. That was a real game. It was supposed
oh
to be
man.
a real game, but we shut them out.
I mean, San Francisco is scary, man. I mean, as far as to other teams, I mean, they're just clicking on all cylinders. I mean, once the season end, teams change because of injuries and things like that. But it's like you guys are loaded on offense, on defense, special teams. Yeah, Frisco is going to be the team to beat.
Yeah, we're hungry, and we're
Yeah,
hungry. We, our franchise is hungry, hungry. So yeah, because we used to getting rings. So that's
yeah.
like the Laker franchise. They once they get that close, they coming in. But anyway, I could talk about them all day. Let's move on to the Jaguars and the Bills. The Jaguars actually beat Buffalo, which shocked me because Buffalo was starting
Is that right?
Yeah, I thought Buffalo was starting to get their rhythm back.
Yeah.
Uh, Indianapolis Colts, they actually beat Tennessee Titans. Yeah,
Mm.
the Colts been playing good though. Detroit Lions have been winning. They beat the Panthers, which
Is
is
that right?
but Detroit
Yeah.
doing something. Okay, so this is not a shocker. The Dolphins, Tyreek Hill, they beat
Mm.
the Giants. That's not a shocker. I didn't know
No.
the Dolphins had that many fast people on their team. They got like three fast. Tyreek ain't the fast. He ain't the only one fast on their team. But
Oh.
Hicks, okay, the Eagles whooped on the Rams, which I'm not upset about because the Rams is in our division. But these Eagles fans is getting off the hand with the 49ers fans, Adrian. It's like on social media, they've been okay.
Yeah.
We coming. We're coming.
Yeah.
Come.
They. I mean, the Eagles fan base is huge. All over the country, especially in California. My nephew, my great nephew, both of them are Eagles fans. Yeah. They got a huge fan base.
I don't know where all these Eagles come from. Like, yeah, whatever. We coming.
Allen Iverson, Allen Iverson. And they just stayed with Phillies because people don't know the impact Allen Iverson had on the
Philly.
fan base for football and basketball.
I didn't even realize for football. But
Yeah.
it's another subject. Okay. But the Eagles whooped on the Rams. The Chiefs whooped on the Vikings. That game was kind of close, and that kind of shocked me. I thought the Chiefs was gonna actually blow the Vikings out, but I think Mahomes' offense is still having a connectivity issue. So I'm gonna need y'all to fix that issue as we go on into the season. And of course, the disappointment was, well, for me, the Raiders and the Packers. The Raiders actually beat Green Bay. I was kind of
Mm.
shocked because Green Bay is actually playing very well,
Yeah. Yeah.
as I thought. Anyway, any opinions or any updates or any how you feel about that? Have you been doing any bets, Adrian?
Well, I actually played a football pool. One of my coworkers, he got like this, these weekly tickets that he do. So I play, just to support my coworker. I haven't won, but I'll play, just to support what he got going on.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. I had a pool going on out here. I think we did it last year, but then we didn't have enough people in our group to really get any money off of it like that. And I think we was only doing $10. So it really wasn't worth the time or the hassle of doing. But yeah, those pools can be fun, especially at work. Especially at work.
Yeah.
Fun. But yeah, like I wanted to announce, let's go. Let me talk about this. We're gonna start getting into some football, Adrian. So start reading up. I know you don't have time to look at it. Start reading up on your fantasy people or whatever.
Okay, I'll try. I'll try to slide it in there. There's just so many things.
Yeah, I got you though. If you don't know, I will keep you updated. So, and that way you can get some tree picks and you might, hit on that pool.
Hey, you got to
Would
be
you
in it to win it.
go with my picks though for football?
What was that again?
Would you really go with my picks for football?
Sure. The last ticket that I played, I actually let a guy that I know pick the teams because he's more abreast of what's going on than I am. So yeah, if you got some insights that I don't know nothing about, yeah, of course.
All
You know.
right. Okay. All
hmm
right. But I'm gonna need my half. I thought.
where we come from. You got to put something on something to get something. You know what I mean?
Them my picks, Adrian. You gonna have to give me a cut. No, no,
Yeah.
bro. I give you my picks out, but we're talking. We're gonna talk about my cut. All right.
We'll do that offline.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, Adrian, tell me, who have you bought something from lately that's a black business owner?
Oh my goodness, man! I think about this all the time. Like when I go to the stores, like I feel like I'm not doing my community, because my community is wherever I'm at. I'm in San Francisco right now, and I want to be able to support the Black community. Everybody else too. Everybody. I don't like necessarily discriminate, though. For the Black community, it's such a dire. We're in such a dire
Right,
straits. When it comes to small business and
right,
our financial, well-being in the country, that I want to support Black business.
right.
So there is this store right on Oakdale and Lane, right here in San Francisco and Hunters Point.
Uh-huh.
Um, so I do attend that, go to that store every now and again when I can. But it's such a small store. They have limited supplies of this and that.
Well,
But they're one of the only stores that's Black owned that I'm aware of. I know there's a restaurant called BJ's that's supposedly Black owned as well. But
mm,
that's the only store that I know that's in San Francisco, the whole of San Francisco, that's Black owned.
wow.
And that's just speak to, you know, you know,
Is that
speak for
is
it to
it
speak
like a
by it.
99-cent store? What kind of store is it?
Well, it's just mama pop spots. They sell little produce, little groceries. Just liquor. It's a liquor store as well.
Okay.
They sell. It's just to be able to get out and support them. Just to spend my money with other people, that look like me, and to be a part of the Black community. That's one thing I would love to be able to go shopping, for clothing, for shoes, whatever it may be, grocery at a black establishments. But there, it's like you have, a lot of these Black communities, you have other nationalities and cultures that they own the properties, they own the stores. And one of the things that I learned later on, and particularly about, say, the LA riots, the culmination of things that led up to it was the disenfranchisement of Blacks within our own communities, where you have the vast majority of the businesses were owned by Korean or other nationality. They were coming to the community, making all this money off the community, but not spending their money back within the community. And I see it out here. These are the store that we got Hunters Points, you got Fillmore. These are Black neighborhoods. There's some gentrification going on. But the tenderloin, the vast majority of people are Black, but they don't own no property, no stores, no, yeah, and it's like it's shameful to me.
But why do you think, why is it that um why do you think that black folks is not um getting into business how we used to be? Like we used to have corner stores. We used to have car washes, used to have different kind of businesses. Why do you think, from what you've seen so far since you've been out here, you've been seeing a little different things, you've been at a couple of different businesses that you've worked at, why do you think that black folks is not owning businesses how we used to?
Well, the one is um, the lack of resources, the lack of community, the disenfranchisement of Blacks. Then the prices. They've driven Black people out of a lot of these communities, and it's so many things, right? That I can point to, that kind of impacts it. So it's not just one thing; it's just so many things. the older generation, a lot of those people are retiring. They're leaving their property homes to their family members, and they're not, keeping up the property. They're selling the property. They're not, staying within the community. And then you have a lot of people, when they do get the money, they move out of the community, right? So, they're taking that resource that would, maybe go to a Fillmore, a Hunters Point, or say South Central, whatever it may be, and they're taking that money to, more affluential neighborhoods where they already have resources. And um, so it's so many things that impacts, black businesses. And this show is, it's a great platform, and it's a starting point. But it's just so many things that we would spend days, months trying to figure out.
Yep. And we're gonna
And
event.
that's just coming from my perspective of a man that's, I've done, X amount of years in prison, 27 years in prison, and coming out, I've been out almost 2 years now, and I'm just seeing these things. So I'm just getting a glimpse of what's going on. So just think of those people who live this and who directly, been impacted by it. And, and I've talked to San Franciscans, and, they're like, particularly black folks, and they're like, it used to be way better than this. They had greater opportunities and things like that, and it just changed, and a lot of them are sad about it.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely circle back around to this on a different segment because I think it's a good talk. I really think it's the main one that you said, the first one, resources. It takes resources in order to be successful in business, and I think a lot of our resources is so limited that, and we're scared to branch off. A lot of people are scared to branch off. A lot of people are scared to get out of their circle, out of their box. For some reason, I believe black folks think that, as long as we sell to people in our circle, we're going to make it. And that's just simply not true. You have to get out. You have to network. You have to branch with. You have to be. You have to get with other races. You have to in order to be successful. But it is a talk that I do want to circle back around with you on because I'm interested in picking your brain so far as to, where you've been since you've been out as it pertains to your mindset as a business owner versus working for someone. And now you're up in age. You're not a young man as you was when you went to prison. And so a lot of that, I remember you saying that, you want to get out of prison while you still have time, your body have time to be able to work and build your home if that's what you do choose to do or whatever. So I just want to pick your brain on that to see where you are at with the structure of your mindset and your goals as far as it pertains to business versus working with someone.
Okay, hey, give me a minute. Let me get. I'm losing my natural light, so let me get the light over here. Okay,
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
one hot second.
And I'm going to get set up because we're going to get into this Tupac segment.
Okay, I still hear you and everything. I just want to set this light up over here. You know what I mean?
All right, no problem. So yeah, we're gonna get into this Tupac segment thing. I wanna just this had me kind of flabbergasted. It kind of threw me back a little bit, but once I started researching a little bit more into it, I kind of understand, but really I don't understand. I understand where the Vegas police went with it, but I really don't. So let me play this first. It's only a couple of minutes, and then we're gonna talk about some things. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me share my screen. And just want to announce I do not own the rights to any music that is about to be played. And it's only going to be a little piece of music. So, oh, you probably can't hear it. Can you hear it? Let me see.
No, I'm not. I can't hear anything.
In the 27-year-long murder mystery.
Can
Oh,
you?
there you go. There you go.
We're taking
Yeah.
countless hours, really decades of work to get to where we are today.
An arrest has finally been made in the 27-year-long murder mystery investigation of rapper Tupac Shakur.
Dear mama. They had already had all the evidence. They already knew everything.
This morning, that man, Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, was taken into custody while he was on a walk near his home. The 60-year-old is described by the prosecutor as the on-ground, on-site commander who ordered the death of Tupac. It comes 2 months after TMZ captured this video of police raiding Dwayne's home, searching for items, quote, concerning the murder of Tupac Shakur.
A Clark County grand jury has indicted with 1 count of open murder with use of a deadly weapon with a gang enhancement. Davis will appear in court in the next few days or so for a hearing to determine his custody status and to set a jury trial date.
The former gang member had once described himself as being one of the last witnesses to the 1996 drive-by shooting, which claimed 25-year-old Tupac's life. The renewed interest in him as a suspect came with his 2019 memoir, Compton Street Legend. E.T. was by Tupac's side throughout his meteoric rise to fame.
I got a lot of attention on me, cameras, and no crime. Maybe something positive, so you got to love that.
In 1993, the then 21-year-old landed his first leading role in Poetic Justice.
Best part was kissing Janet Jackson.
And just 3 months before his murder, E.T. was on set for one of his final films, Gridlock.
A lot of people have an image about you.
Mhm.
What would you like them to know about you in 1996, Tupac now?
I'm quiet, I can be calm, quiet, and very into my work, and totally focused and totally disciplined, and boring. All of this is new. I'm 25, you know what I mean?
What the heck? All right. Let me stop sharing. So they made an arrest. It's been 27 years since Tupac got killed in Vegas on Vegas Strip. Um, I remember back then. Was you out when that happened, Adrian?
No, I was actually in prison by then. I was actually in prison. And I remember that. I remember hearing, Tupac had been killed.
Yeah, and I remember, I had actually my friend from decades ago, she's gonna be on. She's probably gonna come look at this later. But a couple of weeks before he got killed, I actually gave him a hug in the House of Blues. Me and my friend Sheikah, she went up to him. She was like, "Girl, that's Tupac." And I said, "It sure is." But we was used to seeing Death Row in the House of Blues. That was one of their common spots. But she went up to him and gave him a hug, and then I went up to him and gave him a hug. He had on a bulletproof vest. I remember
Yeah.
that part. But yeah, they arrested this guy. Now I remember back then they was saying, because there was a lot of people on the strip when he got shot up. So a lot of people saw that it was a white Cadillac that had, I think, 4 people in it, they said. But what I was wondering is nothing ever happened with this. Like nothing. It just was like a straight cold case. So I really, I don't know. I just looked at it like Vegas detectives didn't have they didn't have no resources or anything. But come to find out, a couple of months after Tupac got killed, Biggie got killed in Los Angeles, though.
Yeah.
So Biggie got killed in LA a couple of months after Tupac got killed. And that's when they found out who the heck killed Tupac. when Biggie got killed, because what happened was when Biggie got killed, you got LAPD that's involved now. And so LAPD detectives is going to do some work. They're going to do some digging. And they did some digging, and they actually interviewed this man, Keefe D. Now, Keefe D is from Southside Compton Crips. So I guess they are the ones that the night that Tupac got killed, there was a Mike Tyson fight in Vegas. And after the fight, some of Death Row stomped this dude out from Southside Compton Crip, Orlando, which is Keefe D's nephew. So they stomped him out. Tupac took off on him first, I guess, or whatever. So when he made it back to his uncle and his homies, he basically told them he got stomped out by Tupac and Suge them. So they rode around with a gun looking for Tupac and Suge. They went to Suge club, but they didn't get out the car. Anyway, they finally seen Tupac and Suge on the strip. And Keefe D, according to him, now he actually told LAPD this story 7 months after Tupac got killed. According to him, he was in the car with three other, Orlando was one of them, and two other dudes. One was driving, and he was gonna shoot Tupac, but he didn't have a clear shot. So he passed the gun to Orlando, which is his nephew, which is now deceased. Everybody else in the car is now deceased, but at the time they wasn't. He passed the gun to Orlando, and Orlando is the one that shot Tupac, killed Tupac, and shot Suge in the head. Now, my thing was when I just found out about this when they arrested him and started researching it, and I'm like, when I was looking at it, this man didn't wrote a book about this. He didn't have multiple interviews, and I'm like, why are they not locking him up? What's up with that? Like, how can you just confess that you was in the car and you was gonna kill Tupac first, but you didn't have a good shot, so you hand the gun to Orlando and he did? Why would you think they wouldn't lock him up, Adrian?
It's it's several things, right? That kind of come to mind, and for legal reasons, we have to say everything is alleged because in America, you're guilty. You're presumed innocent until you're found guilty.
Right.
But there could be a number of things. The dude could have been working with the police for a number of years, and maybe that relationship went sour or something, and they arrested him. They turned on him, or they could have, a lot of the evidence never lined up. Even if the guy told him that story, because that's grounds for conspiracy. If you hand someone a gun and that person used a gun to commit murder, that's aiding and abetting, So maybe the story never lined up, or they never had enough information to actually arrest them. And for whatever reason, now Vegas police has gotten a hold of this, because Vegas is the one that arrested him, right?
So yeah, so let's so mind you, Vegas never really investigated the murder at all. They did this thing. Oh, nobody would answer questions and all of this stuff, even though it was all over all over LA streets. Basically, they said that this Orlando guy was actually seen and heard bragging about he's the one that killed Tupac. So a couple of months later, what happens is Biggie gets killed in LA. And so LAPD, those detectives, they want a high profile case. They want a conviction. They want to get to the nit and gritty of this high profile case. And then you also had Biggie mom pressuring them in the beginning about finding out what happened to her son. So when they started digging, they found out that Death Row had a beef with, well, they found out, they already knew that Biggie Bad Boys had a beef with Death Row. They started digging into Death Row. Death Row got a beef with Southside, these Compton Crips, which was hired by Puffy, was on Puffy payroll. So that, I guess, made them get in contact with Keefe D. They brought Keefe D in. When Keefe D came in, Keefe D started he basically asked for immunity. He asked for immunity in order, and that's my thing right there. That's my whole thing that I wanted to ask you about too. So they gave him a proffer agreement, which is immunity basically for Tupac murder. Because when they started questioning him, stuff started coming out about Tupac murder. So they gave him a proffer agreement for Tupac murder, and that's when he told them everything about Tupac murder. But my question to you is, like, how in the heck did they put Tupac? It just sounded like in order for them to give him immunity on Tupac murder to get information about Biggie murder, that don't even make sense to me. Like, how can y'all get this man immunity for one murder and not just to get information on the next murder?
Yeah, that's just kind of tell you how the criminal justice system works in America. But if he never got full and clear immunity, then that can run out. They can have a limitation on it or whatever it may be, and because if he's given immunity in California, Los Angeles, that immunity would extend to Vegas or anywhere across the country. So, another state can't come in and then arrest him unless, that immunity was, compromised in some kind of way. You just said a term that I'm not familiar with, profit immunity.
Proffer, PROFFER, proffer agreement.
Yeah.
I looked it up. It's basically immunity. But here's where they got him at. And this is where people, I don't know if people get greedy, I don't know, people don't know the law, or people just don't remember the lies that they told. In the proffer agreement, they can't arrest him for that crime unless they find out that he didn't tell them something or lied about something that he told them. So he wrote a book and he had numerous interviews about this situation. And once he started having these interviews and wrote that book, I really don't even think it has too much to do, because Vegas really don't give a dang about solving this case. Now they do, now that it's out in the public and it's making them look crazy that this man is really basically confessing to being in the car that murdered Tupac Shakur, and Vegas police has done nothing about it. So I think it's really making them look bad right about now, and that's why they really has locked this man up. They're saying that he didn't tell them something that he said in his interview or book, or he lied about something that he said in his interview and book that he didn't tell them um, when they gave him the proffer agreement. And that's where it becomes a slippery slope with people when they get to running their mouth. Because if he wouldn't have wrote the book, if he wouldn't have had the interviews, he'd still be out. He's a 60-year-old man now. And for some reason, he felt comfortable with just if you ever get time, Adrian, his interviews is off the chain. Like God,
Yeah.
it's amazing how he's telling on, and they said his sister, which is his nephew's mom, because his nephew is deceased. His sister allegedly is upset with him about that. Like like why is what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they done locked him up, Adrian. And now, so here's my next thing. This is an OG Southside Compton Crip. All the people that was in the car with him is deceased. He wrote this book. He gave real names. Is he considered a snitch? Would he be considered a snitch?
Well, I mean, when it comes to, say that the gang culture, yeah, if you give any information on anybody, then yeah, you're considered, a snitch. It's a lot of the game that changed. I'm out of the game. I really have to say that. That's my former lifestyle. But from what I've known, yeah, you give any form of information or cooperation with the authorities in any kind of way, you could be considered, a snitch.
So he would have been considered a snitch technically in the gangland
Yeah,
in his neighborhood once he even did the proffer agreement for immunity.
yeah,
That would have been that. So him writing the book afterwards, he was already out there, and he had already done it. But the thing is, him when he wrote the book and when he did these interviews, I honestly don't think that, me personally, I don't think that he did anything different from the statement that he made. I think the police had this statement on from this guy after Biggie got killed, which was like a couple of months after Tupac murder. They've been knowing that this man was a part of Tupac murder, and they let him off to give them information about Biggie murder that they never solved. It just literally don't make any sense to me. I don't. And then so LAPD, here's another kicker to it. So LAPD, they started investigating Tupac murder because he allegedly tells them that Puffy initially wanted to pay $1 million to have Tupac and Suge killed. He told LAPD this back then. So the reason why they saying that LAPD gave him immunity instead of Vegas is because once he told them that allegedly Puffy offered $1 million for Tupac and Suge Head, then that made it a LAPD issue because this supposedly transpired in LA. This offer was supposedly been made in LA. But nothing ever came of that. No money was ever, given to anybody for anything.
yeah.
So nothing ever came of that. But this is just something that he said that was supposed to happen. Um, this whole thing is kind of sticky, but I'm just kind of upset with Vegas Police Department. Now, I did see an interview with this journalist from back then. She said that at that time, Vegas was going through a transitional phase where they wanted more tourists. Vegas always had tourists, so I don't know. The 90s, it was tourists. The 2000s, it was tourists. I don't know what's that about, but They were supposedly going through a transitional phase where, and then this murder happened, and they didn't want the spotlight on them. They just wanted to brush it under the rug. And I guess when you think about it, it was easy to brush up under the rug back then because cell phones wasn't what they are now. Cameras on ring cameras on people businesses wasn't what they are now. So it was really no footage. It was just really basically word of mouth on what was going on. But Vegas PD just didn't want to solve the case at all. And it's kind of funny to me now that they're on the news. Oh, we've been working on this for 27 years, and Detective so and so deserve an award, and Detective so and so. Well, y'all didn't have this information for 27 years, and y'all just now arresting this man. So I don't give any of y'all any brownie points for this. If I was Tupac Shakur family, I would be highly upset with Vegas PD. Y'all been knowing that this man mom that passed away, and she was looking for justice for her son's murder, and they've been on this information at least 6 months after this man that got murdered. So I just been researching that. What you think about that, Adrian? To conclude it, to get your conclusion to it.
Well, one thing is it always fascinates me when, guys tell on themselves, right? And it always got to me when I was in prison. One of the first thing that dudes say is, niggas is snitching, right? But you telling on yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, him giving these interviews, they found, and I believe what happened. I believe that the journalist, she was correct. I believe that Vegas possibly wanted to just get it out the way. They didn't want anything because that's where their money comes from. Their money comes from tourism and people coming to visit Vegas. And if people are scared that there's a gang element or something going on out there, they're not going to want to come for that reason. So that is very feasible that happened. I believe that someone, a lawyer, maybe someone up out of the district attorney's office in Las Vegas, read the book, saw the interviews that this guy, Keefe did, and saw the loophole. They saw that, like, look, this person's immunity was based on these facts. Now,
Right.
he said maybe this one sentence in his book or in a video that could possibly get that rescinded. And that person found that, and that's how they were able to pressure Los Angeles to rescind the immunity and arrest this guy. And now that this guy's been arrested, of course, Vegas want to take, credit for it, and they're going to hold up this detective or whoever, made the arrest or who's been involved in the case. They're going to hold that person up as like, yeah, we did this. Vegas, we arrested someone and we are finally bringing closure to this thing. So yeah, that's just how the system works. It's yeah, that's that's
So
how
they're
the system
gonna get higher ranking because he self snitched. Because he told on this day he
yeah,
opened his mouth and messed up his own dang immunity after 27 years.
yeah,
And not
yeah,
only that, I'm still a believer that he put Vegas PD on the spot. He
yeah,
spit in their face in front of the world. He basically told the world that you can go to Vegas and get murdered, and your murderer can confess, and nothing happens to him, because that's what that sounded like. This man confessed 27 years ago, and yeah, we just give him immunity because we want information on a case that then went cold for 27 years.
yeah.
Kind of weird. But anyway, we're gonna go, Adrian. It's 8 o'clock. We've been on here for an hour. All right. Let me give you a word and tell me what's the first thing that come to your mind. I would say water.
Well, I would say the heat, the nature of my job. You know, a lot of times when I come home, I've lost so much weight just doing the work. So, I drink like at least 10 bottles of water a day, and I'm drenched in sweat every day. So
I
that's what
got
I'm
you.
doing.
And you have lost weight, Adrian. I meant to tell you that. It looked like you've lost weight.
Oh man, a few people have told me that. Yeah, I'll do something about it. Yeah,
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you
yeah, that time is coming.
will. All right. Well, we are out of here until next week. Next week, I got some more stuff for you. I'm going to send it to you. I want to talk about this case. Oh, it is so funny. YNW Melly case. The prosecution out there in Broward County, Florida, has done some crazy stuff in this case. And this YNW Melly person is a rapper. He's facing a death penalty. His first trial was a hung jury. The second trial, um, then came out that the prosecution and hid some Brady evidence from his attorneys. So yeah, I want to get into that with you and learn a little bit more about Brady evidence. You know anything about that stuff?
Um, I think that's discovery. So during discovery, um, the prosecution is supposed to release all the information that they got against, say, the perpetrator, a defendant, and if they don't do it, then that's grounds for, an appeal, dismissal, or mistrial.
Yeah, well, in this case, she didn't tell the defense that the lead investigator over the case was trying to recruit another officer to say he was there when he served a search warrant and he really wasn't there. And so IA got involved with it and it never was released to the defendant, to the defense.
So is he locked up, or if he's facing the death penalty, so he would be locked up. That would be no bail,
Mm-hmm.
except for circumstances. So yeah.
Yep. So we'll get into it next week. Adrian, thank you for joining me. Really appreciate it. I'm gonna get you going every Tuesday. I'm gonna take an hour of your time, hour of your busyness time, and I might let you eat a little when you on the show because you you didn't.
Hey, I still haven't eaten this. So I got off work at 3:30. I haven't eaten nothing. Came home, got clothes in the washer. So yeah, it's time to go put on some weight.
All right, well, go ahead and get you something to eat, and we're gonna get into the things that you have and have not been eating since you've
Yeah.
been out,
Okay. Okay.
so we can get you on the right track. I'll talk to you later. I'll hit you up. Have a good day at work. I know you're working tomorrow, so enjoy your day at work. Take care of yourself out there, okay?
Will do. Thanks.
All right, Facebookies.